A thread by Carlos Osuita. Not picking on Tim, just pointing out reality. President Trump will be declared the winner on election night. Take that to the bank. A link in the thread to Tim Pool's video, Mass Civil Unrest is being organized for after the election by the Democrats, of course. The premise of the video, I believe, although I haven't watched it, is that since the election will not be well defined, since the election will not be clear on election night, there will be civil unrest. Carlos continues. In all of American history, guess how many elections were not called on election night? One. Bush versus Gore in 2000. That's because the whole election depended on Florida. Bush got 271 electoral votes. You need 270 to win. There's absolutely no way this will be a close election. Americans don't elect senile candidates who say that we must elect them in order to find out their positions. This is a desperate strategy dreamed up by people not in touch with reality. Democrat diehards hate Trump with every fiber of their being. Therefore, they think that everybody else does too. Madness. I myself have zero criticisms of Trump, not because I am a cultist. I simply fully understand what he's doing. But I don't think the entire world agrees with me. A lot of people have come to understand what Trump is doing. They figured it out. But I don't think people are stupid or illegitimate if they don't share my views. People ask why Trump doesn't change his strategy to appeal to those who are turned off by his style. It's because this is war, and the same demands are not made of Democrats. Trump doesn't allow double standards to force him to modify his behavior. And, in case you haven't noticed, the roles have been reversed without Trump changing. He's the calm, civilized one, and the Democrats are the demagogues. Trump never was a demagogue, but that was how his enemies defamed him. And now his enemies are openly the people they claim Trump is. As I said earlier, the diehard Democrats are the new Ku Klux Klan Night Riders. They still target people of color. I can't even repeat what they're saying about Ice Cube. I'll let the Hodge twins tell you. Link in the thread, Hodge twins, Ice Cube takes heat for working with Trump. How many times have I been pulled over by the cops in my life? 3 times in the Bay Area, 3 times in SoCal, and once in Texas. The 6 in California cases were cops fulfilling their ticket quotas. In Texas, I was racially profiled and stylistically profiled and automotively profiled and geographically profiled. I looked exactly like a methamphetamine mule. I had a long ponytail at the time, but I cooperated fully and was let off. There's a lesson in that there tale, kids. Try and figure it out. When you're combative, you generally get a combative response. The diehard Democrats and Democratic Socialists thought they could outfight Trump. It was Trump against the Democrats, the judiciary, the press, academia, and much of the public. They didn't stand a chance. I voted for Trump because I studied him. How many of you did? I knew we'd win, and I know that he'll win again. He gamed all of this out, as in every single possible challenge. No plan of operations extends with any certainty beyond the first contact with the main hostile force. Helmut von Moltke the Elder. Von Moltke never met Trump. Trump's plan of operations has survived uncountable contacts with all hostile forces, as well as black swans. That's because Trump planned for everything. Amy Coney Barrett used no notes. She keeps all case law in her head. She's the best legal mind in history, just as Trump is the best president in American history. These people exist. Captain Kim, Killer Chick Campbell, had all the backup systems shut out over Baghdad, so she used the manual reversion mode, cranks, and cables to fly her A-10 Thunderbolt II Warthog back to base. Never been done before. The only two attempts resulted in crashes. The A-10 is inherently aerodynamically unstable. Also, the aircraft has lost all flight controls, landing gear control, brake control, and horizontal stabilizer control. What she did is technically impossible, but she did it. Today, she's a colonel. Link in the thread, message from Colonel Kim Campbell, Facebook. People like this exist. Why is it so hard to accept that Trump is one of them? He is, and then some. He wins on election night. Watch it happen.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.